someone asked, why is my outer world not changing when my inner world is?
Coherence.
Ah.
Coherence.
Okay.
So what can happen is with frequency work, okay, so this is one of Tia's favorite episodes. It's number 97.
Yes.
Where I talk about how the rendering works. Okay, so just shorthand. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, please watch that episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have your spirit body around you as a sphere, right? And if anybody's listened to a GFC, you'll have heard me mention the sphere of your spirit body, right? So the sphere of the spirit body is at arm's length all around you. It projects into itself, into the center of itself, where it renders like a hologram, the physical body that is you. Your brain is the projector of that reality, okay? And your pineal gland is like the lens of that projector, if that makes sense. So what can happen is, for some people, they'll take off on spirit level, meaning they'll start to clear distortion patterns, their spirit body starts to vibrate at a higher and higher and higher rate, which is really awesome. But what happens? Their physical body lags. That's why I talk about the physical body so much. You're a whole system, okay? You're one big package. So it's kind of like if you're riding a really high performance bicycle, right? It's like super slick, made of like the lightest carbon fiber and all these fancy thingies that I don't know the names of and such, right? But you've got a wobbly front tire, right? So you can go really fast, but you're like, dang it, the wobbly front tire, I can't go that fast because it's dangerous. Similarly, your physical body can be slow. It can lag, okay? Because it's denser, all right? So what can happen is your spirit body can take off, right? So your resonance starts to rise on spirit level, but your physical body is not keeping up. That lag creates more and more dissonance. You fall more and more out of coherence. You have to come into coherence in order for the outer world to start to mirror the inner world. So what will happen for most people, and I think this happened for you too, or it happened for me, is I started to feel different first, right? I was like, okay, there seems to be nothing changing on the outer world, yet internally, everything feels totally different. And actually, that's the most important thing. Yeah. And then you clear enough distortion patterns and your physical body starts to catch up such that your physical world starts to mirror, okay? So what I'd say is sometimes it's about time, and also it's about coherence, meaning like time, meaning how many distortions you're clearing at the beginning, right? So at the beginning, it's just kind of a mess. At least it was for me, right? You're just like, there's so much to clear. You're like, oh my God, right? So you got to clear enough stuff that you start to feel different, which for some people can happen like instantly. Like for you, it took like 5 seconds. Yep. And then for some people, because the physical body lags, you have to come into coherence in order.
Some people, I'm sure, are wondering what that means, come into coherence.
Oh, yeah. So this is where coherence mastery is so important, right? So this is the class that we've given. It's a year long. If you're curious about that, you can always ask info@sphericalluminosity.com. So coherence is, to me, when you have coherence on 3 levels, okay? When the system is functioning in harmony with itself at its greatest efficiency. So you have to have coherence on the physical level. And the physical level, I mean physical, mental, emotional. At the spirit level, right? At the spirit body level, which usually is a time and space function, right? Like how do you render in space and time? If you don't know what I mean, watch episode 97, because that will make sense to you then, okay? And in the space between the physical and the spirit body, okay? So you have to have coherence on all 3 levels, okay, in order for coherence to happen and for you to experience more change in the outer world. Yeah.
And is there a GFC? Well, your morning meditation can help with that, even if you need a little assistance, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so the more you do frequency work, the more distortion patterns you clear, the more you can come into coherence. But some of you need more help with just coherence. Yeah. So what I would say is coherence mastery is part of the answer, really. Right. Because that whole class is about that. Yeah. So not only releasing a whole bunch of foundational distortion patterns, which will help you come into more coherence, not only about coming into the 0 point of space and time. Right.
Tips to that you can do when you're standing in line
or whatever, right? Yeah. All these coherence tips to bring you more into alignment, to empower yourself on the physical level so you can start to pace more with what's happening on the spirit level. All that stuff is in coherence mastery. So that's what I would recommend.